What's up? It's Andy Cizek from Monuments, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. Well, it's nice to meet you, Bruce. My name is
nice
Andy.
to meet you as well. Thanks for taking the time and making it work. I appreciate it.
Sure, happy to.
So I guess we can jump right in if you'd like.
Yeah.
What's it going to be? I know you started the band in like 2008, back in 2019, right?
I have not. I joined the band in 2018, I want to say.
Okay.
Hard to say. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm the freshest member, so there's some questions that
No.
I think it might be hard to answer.
No. I think it'll work out. But what my point was of that question is you joined just before like all this nonsense that we kind of are going through, right?
The COVID stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
just
man.
The whole world in general. So, I mean, what's it like trying to put together a record and trying to do what you guys are doing, release a record, record a record, write a record in this nonsense?
It was definitely an interesting challenge, but also it's sort of played to our strengths because myself, Brown, and Mike are all very savvy with audio engineering and recording ourselves and tracking our own demos and ideas. So we were able to get together in a Discord group. We enlisted Mick Gordon along the way, and just work on our own ideas in our own studio spaces and then send files back and forth. So like Brown, for instance, would write a bunch of riffs, send us the idea, and then maybe Mikey would program some rough drum ideas. And from there, I'd be able to add vocals to it. So it would go back to them. We'd edit structure. Mick would do some stuff. It was actually a pretty smooth process, believe it or not, despite being in different places. All of us were able to, I think we're actually better at sort of being left to our own devices versus being forced into a room and being like, try to write. So yeah, it was hard in some aspects because we hadn't physically been together in a while. Right. I actually joined in 2019. I think I said 18, but
yeah, I had 19 on my notes.
I don't know my own life, basically. Anyway, it ended up being pretty awesome. And we were all able to kind of work at our own pace. There wasn't a pressure of like, you're here for 3 weeks, get it all done now. We just took the work as it came.
Gotcha. How much of, we're going to stay with the nonsense for a second, but how much of the nonsense colored the content of the record or the message? And does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot for sure, because all of the nonsense, as you say, of the turmoil of the pandemic and being confined and not being able to go out there in the world and tour, and just the way it affected my life and all of our lives, that message crept into the lyrical content and even the instrumental content of the album. Like Brown, when he writes riffs, he does it with intent, and usually there's something on his mind. So a lot of it was feelings of loneliness and isolation, and will we ever achieve balance of normal life again, or what is the new normal? What is the new balance of life? So yeah, all that stuff colored the sound, and these weird experiences that we've been having amongst this pandemic were fuel for us to write about, essentially.
And I say nonsense because, I mean, obviously the COVID and that stuff, but I'm here in the US, and there was a whole lot of other stuff that was coloring those whole couple of years, right? There was, the racial tensions and the violence.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that's why I'm referring to it as nonsense, because it was like this.
No, it's okay. I feel the same way. I think like politically, we don't really get too political with the content of the band, but the way it affects us personally, I can't speak for other groups of people and how the past 3 years have affected them, but I hope that our personal accounts can resonate with others and be a relatable thing. You know what I mean?
Do you find it cathartic when, I know do you write the lyrics? Are you finding it cathartic getting that shit out there?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I always do. It's all writing is kind of, I like to say it's an excuse for me to bitch about stuff without bitching about it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be heard, and I want to get it out there and at least just have those thoughts somewhere that aren't trapped in my own brain. So with all the frustration that I was like, my job is literally to get on a stage and scream. So
Right.
if you think about all the anger that I must probably have in order to do that as a job, and then think about like now you can't do your job, you can't do
Right.
it
It's
for
built
years,
up.
and I'm angry for sure. I got to get it out. So the writing was a good, like you said, cathartic process for me and the rest of the band members to
Do
channel
you
that
feel any
frustration.
kind of or a certain sense of responsibility in your lyric writing, or is that not really a thing?
I don't know. That's a tough question because I never really thought I had like that much power or reach. For me, it was always about, um, well, first of all, I write to make myself feel better.
Right.
So that's the number one. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't say I'm doing it for other people as a service, but the secondary is that I hope there is a common ground and some emotional relatability, like I was saying, and making people feel less alone. That's cool. That's part of the goal. But I don't think I'm doing like a a grand duty for anyone. I'm just as self-indulgent as any other artist. I just
Right.
hope that as well, in addition to me expressing myself, it can help other people cope with.
So I think, and we've talked about this a lot on the show. I mean, not you obviously, but we talk about it a lot. How heavy music, not just metal, but just heavy music in general, has a way of, you can the artist creating it can get a catharsis from it. But I also think it connects with the listener as well, because I know I'm not a musician.
Mm-hmm.
But so my question is, how does it make you feel when the stuff all the shit that you're spewing out in the vocal booth and that you've had in your head for the last 3 years or whatever it is, comes to life and actually connects with somebody, in their living room in India or somewhere? That's got to be pretty amazing, right?
It really is. There's different levels of achieving like that release with music, and it starts with the writing. You write a good song, like, oh, I feel good. Then you record, and it's like, all right, I got it out. And then finally, when it reaches the listener, that's like the final stage where, yeah, it's very validating. Like super awesome to see people take something from the songs that maybe I didn't necessarily intend, but it helps them in their own way, or they feel the same way that I do. They feel a sense of solidarity. And that makes me feel less alone too.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. It's definitely like a listener and artist collaborative experience, not directly, but just when I get feedback saying how people relate or understand, or maybe it helps them through a tough time. That
Yeah,
feels
I
good
think
to me.
that's an interesting thing you brought up too, because it may not be the same um, message or meaning or intent that you had in the song that somebody else picks up, but still they connect, and that's kind of really cool as well.
Yeah, I like to try to leave a lot of it open, so it's not just this is definitely about this specific thing, at this specific
Right.
time on a Wednesday. Like,
Right.
it's metaphor, so themes. It's more about thematic relativity versus being as specific as possible.
You ever feel like you've put too much of yourself in a song, or put yourself out there and you're too vulnerable, or is that not a?
No, actually, I think music's the place I feel most comfortable being vulnerable. So it's never been an issue. It's I don't know, it's my outlet. So I feel comfortable being vulnerable. I can be as vulnerable as I want, because again, it's not like I'm saying like, I cried yesterday. Like it's
Right.
like through literary devices and stuff, and alluding to these things.
Right.
And I think it's a way for me to feel comfortable expressing myself, and then other people to feel comfortable. They hear that, it's like, okay, I'm going through that too, and I don't feel ashamed to admit it now because someone
Right.
else is doing it too. So yeah, I've
And I
never felt that way.
imagine, like I said, I imagine heavy music and even your music in general is going to be around for a long time, because this stuff doesn't seem to let up at all, and it seems to be like the soundtrack to all of our lives at the moment, right? I mean, the nonsense I referred to is sort of going away, but now you've got the other nonsense with the the Russia and war and all this other crap.
Yes.
So
There's always going to be shit that is frustrating and makes us angry or sad inside. And I think I don't know. I've always gravitated towards the aggression, but also the beauty
Yeah.
in heavy music, because it is a there is beauty in getting that negative energy out, but through a harmless, positive way.
And
Everyone gets anger. Everyone feels angry.
yeah,
So,
I mean, to your point, you can find beauty in some black metal stuff too. So yes,
oh
I
yeah,
100% agree.
of course. And I think also, like, I don't know, no other genre of music really makes me feel that validation when I'm angry, when I'm upset, when I'm feeling. But there's also, like, when you're angry, there's an underlying sadness a lot of the time.
Sure.
A lot of that anger is just masking sad emotional pain. So I think with the record, we tried to invoke that feeling where there is a lot of beautiful ethereal motifs and elements amongst this chaotic, aggressive
Right.
sound, and that's always made me feel good. And I made that. I try to make the stuff that I would want to hear.
Right. Okay. Well, you mentioned it, so that's why we're here, I guess. In Stasis, in stores, I believe this Friday the 15th, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
How exciting is that?
Very, very excited. It's been a long time coming, and it's my first full album release with Monuments. So, yeah, I'm basically more proud of it than anything I've ever done, and I can't wait for everybody else to hear it. I hope they like it.
I've listened to a little bit of it, and what I've heard is quite amazing. So I've been a fan for a while, and I'm just looking forward to
that means a lot to me, man. Thanks for welcoming me into the fandom and everything.
Oh, no worries at all. What about what's it going to feel like to be getting out on the road finally with this whole thing?
Oh man, it's going to be the best. The shows that I've played with Monuments have been some of the most fun and satisfying shows in my life. And right when we were hitting our stride, I just felt like it was awesome, and we're off the heels of this European tour, about to go to the US. COVID happened,
Right.
and it was just so stifling and painful. So now, finally, we're getting back out there. We're gonna hit these UK shows coming up in a couple weeks, and nothing makes me more stoked.
Because I imagine the energy, I mean, from you guys for sure, but the energy exchange is going to be quite amazing, right? Because there's a million people like me who haven't been to a show, or at least a heavy show, and it's going to be just like this amazing give and take.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, and I think especially these first several shows back will be extra special because of the amount we've both been deprived on both sides.
Yeah. Are you nervous at all?
Yeah, I think I'm always a little bit nervous no matter what, whether it's writing, recording, releasing it, or performing. But usually that nervousness is met with a lot of welcoming and kind feedback. And then that gives me the confidence to, all right, let's smash through. And it also, a bit of anxiety is a good thing. It keeps you on your toes. So I'm all about it.
And I think, we sort of touched on it earlier, the heavy music genre, but I also think there's a community there, like unlike any other genre of music anywhere.
Definitely.
And you hit it right. I mean, you're going to get that support like right out of the gate, and everybody's together. And does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a lot of it's really hard to say why that is, but I do feel a lot of support and camaraderie and understanding in this music community. And maybe it has something to do with the complexities of the emotion in the music, or people.
Maybe we're all a bunch of outsiders. I don't know what it is either, and I've tried to figure it out forever. But
I think it's an empathy thing too. Like, outsiders who have been mistreated perhaps are more prone to understanding others that have been mistreated, and there's an empathy to that that bleeds into the scene. That's just a guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but you don't find like a pop community or if you do, you don't find it like this.
It's more tight knit. It's more underground. So that's, for sure. It's natural.
What did you do to keep your chops during the
fresh? Yep. Keep them up. Actually, I stream a lot on Twitch, so I perform with live streams, and that has kept me, kept me loose. Kept me up to speed, and I still I work with my other bands a lot, so I'm still recording and writing pretty much year round. Even with the pandemic, I was still doing plenty of singing.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I imagine that gets sitting locked up for that long, it starts to go away, or you start to lose your edge, right?
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of musicians went to Twitch or other streaming platforms to stay sharp, and it's kind of the next best thing to performing when it comes to connecting with your fans. So yeah, that's been kind of a silver lining, a blessing in disguise, is being able to do that and use that outlet.
That's great. So one other thing that I just wanted to mention, and I think I'm curious what your thoughts are, but I think starting, well, probably just recently, but I think we're going to see like an artistic renaissance like we've never seen before, because everybody's been locked down, creating their crafts. They've had all this, emotions on them, just like sort of in the Renaissance or somewhere. I think we're going to, not, and maybe not even just in music, you're going to see it in art. You're going to see it in all the arts, I think, because we're like emerging from, it's like the Phoenix Rising sort of things. Does that make sense?
I think so. I kind of think we already are, because people are discovering new ways of creating because they had to.
Right.
We were sort of forced into it. And so we've adapted and developed these new interesting skills that, could probably pave the way for I don't know what. Who knows what it's going to be? But
I think, because everybody's been like honing their craft, right? I mean, all these people have been down in their basement playing their guitars. There's nothing else to do, and working on their chops and writing killer songs and making the production right, or making that painting, or, I think you're going to see all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely all had a lot of time to sharpen, and hopefully, there's only so much you can do when you're locked down. So you have to search for that niche and lean into it a lot. And
however, even though there's only so much you can do, imagine if this would have happened 25 years ago, pre-internet, pre-Twitch, and then it would have been really fucked.
Who even knows? Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't even imagine what it might have been like back then. So I guess it's not good, but it's
right.
fortunate that this happened during
this time of our existence, I guess, or something. I know that's deep. I'm sorry.
No. I love the deep questions. That's a big part of what it's all about, and why we write the music. So
what is next for Monuments? I know you got those UK shows. Are you doing summer tours or festivals?
Yeah. We have 2 festivals in the summer, which is, I'm having a tough time remembering. We've got Hellfest.
Oh man,
and
that's on my bucket list.
That's in July. We do have one more. Man, I can't remember what.
That's all right.
It is. But anyway, we also have some European shows, I believe, in August, and then we've got I think 2 more tours that we're announcing. So keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be a busy year for us, and we're going to try to keep the momentum going as much as possible after the album comes out.
That's beautiful. It is wonderful to have you guys back in the saddle. It's wonderful to be on the precipice here of some new music.
Thank you, man.
I wish you the best, my friend. I really do.
Likewise.
I'm not just saying it. I really do love the new stuff. And
it means a lot to me, dude. Thank you.
Be well. Stay safe. Andy, I want to thank you so much for taking the time.
Bro. No problem, man.
Where are you from? I thought you guys were from overseas.
Yeah, everyone but me. They found me on the internet. I'm actually in the East Coast of the USA. I'm in Maryland.
Okay, I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, wow, dude. That's like 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm actually going up to Maryland Death Fest in a couple weeks.
Oh, shit. I heard that they were...
it's the last year.
It's the last... that's so sad.
I've never been.
Yeah. What date? Do you know what day it is?
Yeah, so the first date is Thursday the 26th, so it's that weekend, like Memorial Day.
Yeah, I'll be gone, unfortunately. I'll be overseas, so
I only had
have a blast, man.
I was only able to get one day, so I got the 27th, which is great because it's got Carcass and Bloodbath and Suffocation. There's 10 of them, so I'm still Atheist is there. There's a lot of really good stuff. That'll
be a blast. Well, I hope you have a really good time.
I've never been. I heard it's great. And when I heard it was the last time, I grabbed a seat.
Gotta go. You gotta go. You're too close to miss it.
I am. And I always find reason I can't go. Something comes up or whatever, but not this year. We're going, so.
Hell yeah. Good shit, man.
All right, man. Be well, my friend.
All right, Bruce, thanks again.
the time.
No problem.
Cheers.
Have a good one.